be formless, shapeless, like water. Now, you put water into a cup, it becomes the cup. Now, water can flow, or it can crash. Be water, my friend.
Follow our Twitter account at Wow Show.
It is Way of the Warrior. Eric O'Brien along with Ken Evans, Sean Dezay, and everything you need in the world of mixed martial arts. UFC 150 this weekend on pay-per-view. And joining us on the line right now, he's going to be taking on Ed Herman. Jake Shields back on the program. Jake, how are you?
Hey, doing good, man. How you doing?
I am awesome. Welcome back to the show. It's going to be another big weekend for you. UFC 150 on pay-per-view, making your middleweight debut in the UFC. For people who have not been following so closely to your career, what made you switch back to middleweight? I mean, you fought in middleweight in Strikeforce and Elite XC, and now you're back. What made the switch?
Yeah, I just think I think I was really successful, and I felt a little stronger up there, and didn't have the big weight cuts, and I've done so well in the past, so I figured to go up there again. I was just feeling, I was doing well at the 70s, but I just felt I wasn't quite as strong.
Now, Jake, this might be an ignorant question just because I am not vegan, but is it tougher to put that weight back on when you've been used to fighting at 170 to be strong at 185? Is that a much longer process than if you're eating meat protein?
I don't think it's too bad as long as you supplement the protein shakes and make sure you get the adequate amount of calories. You just have to make sure you're getting enough calories, and I have protein, so I have protein shakes and all that, so I have no problem.
And I don't know if you're sponsored by them or not, but I saw an interview about a month ago you talking about Sun Warrior, and those shakes are killer, dude. So thanks for the tip.
Yeah, no, they are. They do sponsor me, but they really are a great product. So, I mean, so it's both. I mean, it's a product that I actually use and like quite a bit, but luckily they sponsor me as well.
It's nice to get paid by something that you love to drink.
Yeah, exactly. So you actually can you can give a plug for something that's actually really good instead of something you don't like.
All right, this weekend you are taking on Ed Herman. He has had a little bit of a resurgence in the UFC. He is seeing you as a jump-off point to get in that middleweight scrum. Is there anything, because on paper, I don't know that there's a lot that he is going to be able to out-trick you in.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think I hold a lot of advantages on him, but he is a well-rounded guy, and he's really tough. So he's dangerous in that aspect. He doesn't have a lot of big holes, and he's someone who doesn't quit and always keeps coming.
He does. He's a fighter, a game fighter, certainly. But when you go back and you watch when you go against high-level jiu-jitsu guys, your defense to jiu-jitsu is bar none. So where he thrives in those submission games, that doesn't really seem like that's going to work very well on you, especially since you already want to go to the ground.
Yeah, it seems like a great matchup to me, too. So, you don't know until you get in there, but it seems like a good matchup. But it's you never know how a fight's going to play out. But I've certainly done all the training, and I feel ready on my end to go out there and kick his ass.
Jake Shields is joining us, making his debut at 185 at UFC 150. There's been a lot of crazy news with the champ at 185, including this morning I saw a report that he wants to go back down to 170. Do you have any sense, you've been doing press all week, you've been in the fight zone, do you have any sense of what the UFC is going to do with that title picture if Anderson stays or if he goes down to 170?
It's really so shook up right now. I mean, I really have no idea. So on my end, I just need to go out there and put on a great performance, and hopefully it gets me closer. I mean, there's so many guys in the running right now. It's just so shook up. You don't know what Anderson's doing, so it's definitely a mess there right now. So I think it's really important that I go out there and put on a great showing.
And not only that, Jake, but you bring another name that people recognize and people want to see fight. So you get past Ed Herman. I think you're obviously knocking on the door of either whoever's going to have the title, if Anderson's going to keep it or if he's going to go down to 170. I think a win on Saturday night puts you right up there almost immediately.
Yeah, I definitely think it puts me close, especially if I win in a good fashion. That's why I'm trying to go out there and put on a great showing.
All right, my man. It is UFC 150. It is this weekend on pay-per-view. I know normally fighters don't bite on this one, but I like to ask anyway. We've got the rematch between Bendo and Edgar. What do you think is going to happen in this one?
Well, I mean, that's such a tough one to call. The first one was so even back and forth. So it's I think it's going to be another one of those really close fights. So I might give a slight edge to Henderson, but it certainly could go either way. Thank you.
It's going to be an awesome set of fights. Jake Shields fighting Ed Herman Saturday night, UFC 150. Welcome back to 185, my friend. Have a wonderful weekend. We look forward to seeing your hand raised on Saturday night.
Thank you.
And when we come back, Epic Cheney steps back into the program. Paul Cecchini in with all of the late-breaking MMA news. Remember, you can follow us on Twitter and Facebook. Search Wow Show. It is Way of the Warrior.
You've been on my life.